We've had some bipolar weather this week. Heck, it even snowed one day. So stay tuned and find out what fragrances I wore. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So of course, you already know the drill. Hit the subscribe button down below if you love fragrances, and also be sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. But today is another weekly fragrance rotation. As always, if you are new to this series, I basically run down the kind of weather it was, what fragrance I wore, how many sprays, and of course, if that particular fragrance got any compliments or not. So let's not waste any more time and get right into Sunday. For Sunday, it was in the low 50s and rainy outside, and I did pull out a new fragrance where it's actually not a fragrance, it's more like a body spray or body mist from the house of Fleur. They dropped 3 brand new body sprays, and I'm a big fan of this house. I love, of course, Tangerine Boy. I hyped that up during the summer. This though is Vanilla Skin, brand new body mist from Fleur and hair mist, which is actually going to give Sol de Janeiro a run for its money because you can find these at Sephora for 20 bucks. So if you're in the market for, of course, like a body spray, you're looking at Sol de Janeiro, you might want to turn your head over to Fleur, especially with Vanilla Skin. Very spicy, warm, cozy vanilla body spray that is actually just really good. And I usually don't wear body sprays at all, so this was kind of new to me. I wasn't really knowing what to expect with it when it comes to performance and stuff. Obviously, this is alcohol free as well, so if that's important to you, definitely check this out. Now, on Sunday, didn't do much, kind of chill. That's why I wore this. Did 5 sprays of it just to give it a quick test and see how it performed. Honestly, the performance was lackluster, but I wasn't really expecting anything going into a body spray like this, but of course this is made to take with you. If you're a girl, put this in your purse, or if you're a guy, put it in your pocket, a bag or your car or whatever, and just reapply it. But for 20 bucks with the scent of this, and it's made by a master perfumer, these are fantastic. Now headed into Monday, it was also in the low 50s and rainy yet again. And I was in the mood for a leather, like rugged black leather fragrance. And of course, I usually would go with like ombre leather, of course. That's a staple leather fragrance, but I wanted to go with this one. And it is from Mind Games, and this is Gardes. Honestly, when it comes to like that authentic, like new car, leather jacket smell, this one gets it absolutely spot on. It kind of has this shininess about it also, which ombre leather doesn't. So if you're looking for like a true authentic leather fragrance, which is hard to actually create, definitely check out Gardes. Now on that day though, I did do 8 sprays of this one. I gotta be honest with you, for some reason on that day, I was kind of disappointed in the performance of it. Most Mind Games, like of course, Grandmaster, Checkmate, they perform very good, but this one though, definitely left something to be more desired for me. I'm not sure if I just went absolutely nose blind to it, but yeah, it kind of disappeared quicker than it should have, especially being an extrait de parfum. But when it comes to the scent, leather, it has a nice kind of smooth orris note as well. I think there's even like a popcorn note in here, which gives it that like butteriness that works perfectly alongside that smooth orris. Just a fantastic, unique scent profile, especially when it comes to a black leather. Now, got no compliments on that day, but I don't really see many people actually enjoying this one, because it is just very heavy with that black leather. But regardless, great scent profile. The performance did leave something to be desired. So Tuesday happened to be Halloween, so I hope all you guys enjoyed the holiday, were safe, and had fun. Now, of course, on Halloween, you want to pull out something mysterious, dark, like evil smelling perhaps, and this is the perfect fragrance from my collection for Halloween. It actually reminds me of like what a vampire would smell like. And it's coming from Nasamato, and it is Black Afghano. And look at that color of the juice. Very black, purplish juice in there. And it smells very dark. Honestly, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's herbal. I think it's coming from cannabis. There's also oud in here. It's very like thick and syrupy as well. Just very mysterious, man. One of the most kind of unique fragrances in my collection, at least. Now, on that day, I did do 6 sprays of Black Afghano. I did get a compliment. I was walking. I had a group behind me. It's like, wow, somebody smells so good. And she was like, yeah, it's him. And then, of course, I turned around because I knew they were talking about me. And I didn't want to make it obvious, like, oh, yeah, it's me that smells good, even though I had done that in the past. But yeah, they're like, it's him. So I said, thank you. And they asked me what it was, etc. I was like, yeah, it actually has a note of cannabis. And they thought that was very interesting and like something they never heard of before with a fragrance. But they thought that was cool, and it's weird because a lot of times when I wear black Afghano, I do get compliments, which is strange because it's not really a crowd-pleasing scent profile by any stretch of the imagination, but for some reason, I don't know if it's just my skin or what, but people actually dig this fragrance. Okay, so Wednesday was a day we actually got snow. It was in the low 40s, but it dropped down to the 20s, especially early in the morning. So there was snow on my car, snow on the ground, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I only really enjoyed the snow like the first week because it's enjoyable to look at. It's beautiful, of course, but after that first week, I get absolutely sick of it. Now, on that day though, I didn't want to pull out something like dense and heavy and thick. And that's exactly what I did. I put out Mancera's Oud Exclusive, and man, this fragrance got a ton of attention on that day. Now on that day, I did do 6 sprays of this stuff, and it is extremely potent, as you can tell by that juice color itself. Very strong fragrance. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a spicy, oudy, almost like boozy, cherry kind of fragrance is what I get from it. Very resinous base also. Just perfect for like a cold, snowy day like we had on Wednesday. Now, I actually did get 3 compliments with a Oud Exclusive. One of my coworkers came over to me. She's like, wow, you smell really good today. What is it? And I told her the name Oud Exclusive, and she's like, what the heck is that? Because obviously, like, a lot of people have not heard of a name like a Oud Exclusive. The majority of people have no idea what oud even is. So it's always funny when people come over and ask you what you're wearing, and you're wearing something crazy to pronounce like this, and you tell them, and they look at you like you're crazy. They probably expect like something, oh, I'm wearing Chanel, Bleu de Chanel, or Dior Sauvage, etc., but nothing like this. And then I had another coworker kind of come over to me. She's like, wow, you smell amazing today. And then towards the end of the day, almost like probably 8 hours after applying a Oud Exclusive, I had yet again another coworker kept walking by me and stuff. She's like, wow, every time I walk by you, it smells heavenly over here. What are you wearing? I told her the name. She's like, wow, can you write that name down? So I did. I actually wrote the name down, Oud Exclusive by Mancera. And it's funny because the first girl that came over and said I smell really good and what the heck is that, she actually came over at the end of the day and asked me to write it down as well for her. So I wrote this fragrance down for 2 different people and got 3 compliments. So honestly, I was kind of shocked that an Oud Exclusive got that much attention, being of course a woody, resinous, boozy, oudy fragrance, but it's actually a crowd-pleasing oud that isn't too offensive. So if you're looking for an oud that will get you compliments, look no further than an Oud Exclusive. So for Thursday, it was in the mid 40s and cloudy outside. It's starting to warm up a little bit compared to the last few days. And I wanted to smell like a warm apple pie, and that's exactly what I smell like because I pulled out Parfums de Marly's Layton. Just like I said, warm apple pie is the vibe that this gives off. It has that fruity apple, it has that spicy, creamy vanilla in the base. And I just absolutely love this fragrance. Always have the minute I got my nose on it. It's just honestly so addicting to me. I love the way this fragrance smells. Of course, Layton is pretty popular. Without a doubt, probably the most popular from the house of Parfums de Marly, and that's for a very good reason. It's also somewhat versatile. However, it does work the best in the colder weather like the fall and winter without a doubt. Now, on that day, I did do 6 sprays of Layton, got no compliments. But man, I was enjoying myself the entire day. Every time I got a whiff, like moving around and stuff of this, instantly put a huge smile on my face. And that's the reason why I love Layton so much. I think this is honestly a staple in any man's fragrance collection. Friday now, it was in the low 60s and cloudy outside. So like I said, it's warming up with that bipolar weather. It went from like low 20s to in the 60s now, and also some snowy days. But on Friday, I did pull out my favorite Sauvage flanker by far is of course Sauvage Elixir. Now I haven't worn this one in quite some time, and I was just in the mood for it. It's a much more mature, refined, darker brother to the original Sauvage. And it's funny because I know the brand new Absolute Aventus just came out, and a lot of people are saying that's a combination of Aventus and Dior Sauvage Elixir, which actually doesn't sound too bad, but at that price tag, it's like 550 bucks, I believe, or somewhere around there, which is insane. I haven't gotten a bottle of that yet, but I probably will. However, I love Elixir, and it's probably one of my favorite designer releases of the last few years, and this stuff is nuclear. I did do 6 sprays of this beast. And on that day, I actually went to a comedian show to see Larry the Cable Guy. If you guys know who he is, he's absolutely hilarious. He's known for saying, "Get her done." And he's also the voice for Tow Mater in Cars, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, that was of course a good time, a bunch of laughs, a bunch of good jokes. And a person I was with, he asked me if the fragrance I was wearing had oud in it, which obviously it doesn't, but it kind of does give off that dark wood vibe where someone may think there is actually oud. Just a very dark, almost smoky wood that you get in Sauvage Elixir. But that's what I chose to wear for Friday, is this beauty. So wrapping the week off on Saturday, it was in the high 50s and cloudy outside. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really in the mood to wear a fragrance on that day. But I did obviously decide to wear something at least, and I went with Frederic Mall's Musk Ravageur. I actually considered this fragrance to be a masterpiece the moment I got my nose on it. It's very musky, like a furry musk. Like you can actually feel the musk on this fragrance. Very furry, very warm. It's oriental. It has a slight, almost citrus opening. And I kind of describe it as like a masculine Guerlain Shalimar is the vibe I get with Musk Ravageur, which isn't a bad thing. Now, on that day, like I said, I wasn't really in the mood to wear a fragrance, but I did choose this, and I only did one spray on the back of my neck. And it's interesting, guys, because how it works is the less you spray, the more you will smell the fragrance for yourself and not other people will smell you. But the more you spray, the less you'll smell the fragrance on yourself, but obviously people around you will smell it more because you go nose blind to it. So if you just spray like one spray behind your neck, or maybe even like a one spray like far from your nose, you'll be able to smell it for hours. And this is a very comforting, warm, cozy fragrance, the exact vibe I wanted to go for on that day. Even though it is slightly daring, a lot of people will not like this fragrance because how animalic it is. But for me, I love animalic fragrances, and this is without a doubt a masterpiece in my opinion by Maurice Roussel, one of the best perfumers out there. And of course, got no compliments, but this is not a compliment magnet at all. It's more of like a work of art is how I look at it. So that's going to do it for my weekly fragrance rotation. Let me know down below, per usual, the fragrance you guys have been reaching for. But besides that, leave a like, subscribe below if you haven't already. And of course, you already know, I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.